In A Time to Kill, Samuel L. Jackson's character of Carl Lee Haley is a very, very angry man. And in your words, set it up for us, the predicament you're in.
Okay, first of all, let me say that, he's not angry.
Well, it's hardly the word.
Well, anger is not what I thought his motivating force was. He has a 10-year-old daughter who's been raped by these two men and brutally beaten and left for dead. And he doesn't think that the justice system is going to serve him properly, so he takes the law into his own hands. And because he loves his daughter so much, and he's a parent, and like most of us, we want to protect our children from all these evil things in the world. And this little girl was calling on him, fully expecting him to save her life while these things were going on. And he was not there, so he feels like he failed her. So his sense of pain and hurt is more or less what drives him to let him know, to let his daughter know that he is her protector. And this is the length that he will go to make sure that she is never harmed by these two people again, for sure. And that hopefully he will always be around to make sure she's never harmed like that again.
And now you're facing a white jury.
Yeah, and that's love. And that's his predicament. He does that and goes on trial.
You have a speech that, in my opinion, is the key scene in the film when you tell your white attorney that no matter how well-meaning he is, he's still one of them, and you're one of us. There's a division there that's not going to be crossed no matter how hard he might try. It's a very sobering speech for all of us, I think.
Yeah. Well, he actually tells them, it's not your fault, it's how you were raised. And you haven't learned how to look past that yet. And what happens is that Jake never talks to Carl Lee, he always talks at him. Number one, because like he says, you always see me as a black man, and there's an attitude of superiority and kind of, as my daughter says, you were doing that, Dad, which means you're condescending. Instead of doing this, you were doing that. You're being very condescending.
When you say those lines, in any way are you not acting? In any way do these lines touch something deep inside you?
Well, I'm a product of segregation, and I don't have illusions about what America has been, what it is, and what it can be. So as I travel, I see things that change and I see things that remain the same. And I'm not shocked or surprised by people's attitudes or their reactions to me sometimes. Until people recognize or realize who I am. I can go in places and shop owners will, rush over to me and ask me, can they help me? Or they'll stick close to me until somebody comes in and says, you know who that is? And they're like, Samuel L. Jackson, he's a movie star. Oh. And then it's like, okay, everything's fine. Or if I go in a store where everything costs more than $500, people get like this until somebody says, that's Samuel L. Jackson, nowhere he can afford to be in here.
For those of us that maybe first really noticed you in Jungle Fever, there was that ragged edge of rage in you that almost was serving notice to us viewers. Check this guy out, but don't underestimate him and don't take him for granted. Is that fair?
Well, there's a lot of characters, that have
Meaning
that kind
you,
of edge
not
to
the
them.
character.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I thought.
I don't know. I guess I carry that around with me. That's part of my '60s militant kind of attitude. That's still a part of me. That's kind of my New York. I'm walking the streets and I have something. I don't want to be robbed, so let me look like the mugger rather than the muggy kind of attitude. And it's, I guess, a sense of arrogance that I, Samuel Jackson, have in terms of who I am, what I do, and how proud of the fact I am that I do it well. But I still have this air of humility and thankfulness that God has blessed me with this ability, that I can, step away from myself sometimes and kind of laugh at myself.
Very quickly, you are on such a roll, it seems, from the outside. Does it get any easier? The auditioning processes, etc.?
No, the reading process, the audition process, the fight with the studio process to say, well, yes, I can do that. What do you mean? You haven't seen me do that. That's why I'm acting, so you can see me do that. And I don't want you to see me reinvent myself over and over again. That's why I'm asking you to let me do something different. That's why I'm asking you to cast me in a role that was not written for some African American. You know, naturally things will change about it when I get it, but you know, the struggle gets harder to make sure that I'm making a choice that's not just a good career choice for myself, but that's still something that's going to help me grow and improve as an actor.
Samuel L. Jackson, not just a pleasure to see you at A Time to Kill, but to meet you.
Thank you.
In person. I really mean that. Such
wonderful.
a pleasure. I'm
Thanks
John
very
Tibbetts, and we are talking about A Time to Kill here in New York City for KCTV5. I like your hat.
Thank you.
Beret.
Oh, I should have told my aunt hello. Doggone it.
Well, I didn't know whether to get into that.